guys. So I'm gonna show you how I can seem to find out where the trend is gonna go. I know that this is very hard for someone to try to scope this out, try to see where the trend is heading. It looks like a V shape. A lot of people would say, okay, well, guess what? I'm just gonna go in here because he already crossed this high, but he came back, but he's still a little bit above. I'm gonna go ahead and just, throw in my money and take it bullish. Well, then again, that would be like heading towards a casino, right? Where you're just gonna play your luck. What if this was to reverse and come back downtrend? Then you will lose your money. What if vice versa? Then again, we are just, trying to guess. So let's say that someone once told me, I did a post, and they said, hey, are you trying to predict the market? That's impossible. Yeah, it is impossible to predict the market. It's unpredictable. There's tons and tons of volume, money being pumped into these things, So it's hard to predict the market, but therefore you always have the same trends. You're always gonna have your studies, and you're always gonna have your tools. And by utilizing your tools, that's gonna give you a good entry position up towards where it's trying to head. Where is the trend trying to push to? And that's gonna give you better of sense of, okay, that's gonna be my entry position. Okay, that's where I'm gonna take it. That's gonna be my risk. And it's best to find out this risk positions than to go into a position where you don't know exactly if you're too high or if you're too low. This will minimize a lot of risk ratio for your entry points, so you won't have a lot of percentage of a loss. I'm not trying to say this is a good point for you, a good strategy for you to go into your trading. I'm not. What I'm trying to show you is what I do, how I use my indicators, how I use my studies to see a good point of entry. That's all. I know a lot of people have different strategies, different indicators, but just with such a little trend, I'm going to show you how to scope this out the way that I do. So let me go ahead and start off. So normally what I do, I'm gonna go a little bit back old school. I'm not gonna use no automatic indicators or whatsoever. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. So just by looking at this, all right. So where is the trend heading to? Okay, so we had a downtrend. So my first trend was a downtrend. So now I need to figure out how to get this out of the way, right? Because I'm looking at this. It did an uptrend, but I still don't know if it's gonna go bearish or not. So I need to get the bearish out of the way. I need to see their momentum to get squashed, so I could get that out of my head towards the next goal. So let's see what it did here. It went downtrend. Alright. And then you got your order here, right? Got full force, and it started going uptrend. So they got the orders in, started going uptrend. So this is a very strong indicator that it went uptrend. However, I still need to get rid of this. I need to get this out of the way so I could just focus on bulls, or should I be focusing on more reversals? Are the bears still in power? Is it still gonna reverse on me? You know, it went uptrend, left the big wick, This is in pretty much like, okay, where are we heading to? So it might go up, or it might come back down. So now this is what I do. I use a fib. So I'm gonna use my fib. We're going downtrend. So I'm starting from the top, down. I'm gonna do it right here. Alright. There it is. So my fib, the bears took power, came downtrend. So if this was still a bearish trend, that means that once you had a pullback, the bears should have stood within this range. This is the range where the bulls should have stood. It went above this zone, which is still a possible zone for the bearish trend, but it did not. It broke right through it. It broke through the fib. So I'm measuring the bearish momentum trend, and it got wiped. This shows me that it got wiped. So okay, now I could clearly say bearish no longer have the power here. Now I need to focus on a new trend, which would be the uptrend, right? They still holding above the bearish fib and the bearish trend. So now I get that out of the way, right? Bears, they lost. So now I got this sentiment and this gut feeling out of the way. So I'm not gonna focus on bears, and I'm not gonna be like, okay, it's gonna reverse back, it's gonna cross below here, and then I'm gonna lose some of my money, right? Okay, I got that out of the way. So now I gotta use the same strategy, but in a bullish momentum, bullish way. So now I get my fib. Now I'm down here, right? We could even go here. Let's see for the lowest, right? And I'm gonna put my mark right there, right? Okay, so we got the bear fib out of the way. Now we're focusing on the bullish fib, and we're here. So that means that it went all the way up here. It tapped this, and they said, hey, we gotta go back before we do another trend. We gotta go back, and we gotta buy at a low discount. My fib, this is the chip area zone for them to purchase. So they definitely, before they continue going higher, they need to go back and get it at a discount. So they definitely need to drop. So let's say now you got the bearish momentum, bearish trend out of the way, right? So you're not focusing on that no more. However, it does need to go back bearish. So there's two ways that you can go on this. You could say, okay, I'm not going to buy until I'm around this zone. This is going to be my buying zone. Okay. Sometimes they go all the way back to kill this zone, and if it crosses over, then that means that the bulls got wiped out, and now it's a whole new bearish sentiment. However, if they hold here and they buy it at a discount, and you see that they're not trying to wipe this out, and the trends are moving up towards the bullish, that means they're gonna go for another trend. So that's one way to see where the trend is heading. And another way would be, okay, well, he already crossed over, and this is a high that he created. You can utilize the same thing. You can use a fib. You can put it from this high, and you can add it to this high, right there. Go ahead and add it to the side. Okay, so there you go. You have two entry positions here. One would be most like the standard, which would be this one. It needs to have a setback in order for them to buy it at a discount price. Now, if you don't want to take the risk, a lot of people think, just because they see the red bars, no, they're going bearish. I'm not gonna get them. It's probably going bearish. Boom. So other people take this in consideration. So they say, I'm gonna follow this. So I'm gonna wait it off. If it starts going back down, I'm not gonna join them until they come back around this range and they cross over this 1.55. 0.5, and then I'll take it bullish. That way the trend can continue going that way. However, making this indicators the way I just drew them now, telling you where I believe the trend is heading, is telling you right there, the chart itself. Look exactly what it drew for you. Okay, apart from this line. He drew a trend line. He's trying to pull this trend line for you. You see that? From this high to here. And from this low to this high. He's drawing a trend line. Telling you it's going uptrend. So, now, you utilize this, and then you can utilize also this indicator. Where is it? Actually, tool. Go from here, right? Let's tear on them. Okay. So. So the trend would go uptrend. They got it for a cheap. They got a pre-buy for cheap. So they got to come back down here. Now this would be the first stage, a cheaper stage, lower discount. Either way, this would be an entry. This would be my sell zone right here. So this would definitely my sell zone. This would be a chance, pretty much area, for them to want to come back before they go to a new high. You gotta keep in mind, sometimes bears and bulls, they gotta work together to use this strategy. And you can see them play out. So eventually, sometimes they'll be like, no, bears, and then bulls. No, sometimes they have to work together, because you gotta keep in mind that bears need to sell their highs, or else they won't make any money. And then bulls need to buy at a discount so they can take it up and sell to make money. So I'll give an example. Bears need to go down so they can get a profit out of this downtrend. Now they already got that profit. Now bulls bought it at the cheap. So bulls need to take an uptrend to get that profit. Now when they're up here, they have to do the same thing all over again. Now it needs to come back so bears can take their profit, and then bulls do the same thing and Skype it up and get their profit. So this is two ways that you can do that. Now I'm showing you how to scratch, how to see a trend with a short period. So this fib is already trying you an uptrend. This lower fib is already showing you a downtrend. This fib is showing you that it needs to come back and it needs to hit here for a discount, right? So you can go uptrend. This 2 is also showing you it needs to come around this area for them to continue a new uptrend. So we have that. So let's see how this plays out. There you have it. You see that? Exactly the way the fib is showing is playing out. Now let's continue. Alright. So now we are about this range. So now we have this, right? So now this, you know, many people don't really keep an eye on this, but I do. That trend line actually helps a lot, tremendously, to where your trend should practically go to, right? Now you have this trend up here, right? And it looks all sketchy. I'll clear things out. Alright. Now let's draw another trend line. From here to here. Alright. So what am I looking at now? I determined that the bulls got white. I determined that the new trend is bullish. I did the fib, I did this, and I did this. It's 2. Now, a lot of people would have said, like I said, oh no, it's too sketchy down here, I don't want to take risk. Came back uptrend. Now, if you do this trend line here, which would be around that area, right? So then a lot of people would have got back in this range and would have taken it uptrend. So there's 2 ways. You could, you know, be on the safe side and be like, no, I really want to see an uptrend. When it hits back up there, then I'll get back up there. And a lot of people that know how this studies work and know how exactly some of the market structure works, they would actually go back down here and they will buy for cheap here and then they'll wait for the rebound. So that being said, let's get back here. So now that I have this all dialed in, right, I don't need my fibs no more. I could use my fib if I see something else, and I'll show you in a minute. So I'm gonna get this out of the way. I already showed you how to process the new trend, which way will it go, right? So that being said, now you're up here. Now with those fibs, it drew me a trend line, and it was a very respectful trend line that they respect, because it definitely took that trend line, right? Now, that trend line is closing into a squeeze. So when a squeeze happens, we know that the market is either going to bounce bullish or bearish, but it's going to bounce fast. It needs to make a move one way or another because they got to get out of that squeeze. There's no more room. So they definitely need to make a move, right? So that being said, they have to make a move. Now, you could utilize your fib from, let's say that, okay, I don't know which way it's gonna go. This is getting too tight. They're too tight. They can't go anymore, right? So what you use the same thing. Use your fib. Okay, this is the lowest, and this is your highest, right? Unless there's another higher point. So let's play it out. Remember, this is our buy zone. This is our buy zone. Below this line here, it's bear, right? So this is the bear area, and this is your opportunity zone. They want to buy for cheap. So if they're going and they're getting into a squeeze, this is an opportunity for me to join in for the next trend. If it goes below here, then I gotta step back. I gotta recalculate things. I gotta figure out where the next trend is gonna try to swing to. So let's go ahead and play that out. So okay, so you saw this from the low to the high, right? You broke the trend. Once you broke the trend line, this is where I step in and I put my fib. Then I wait for my indication within this range. Now within this range, I would go in. Here, me personally, I won't take any trades. I would wait until he goes back to my yellow zone. My yellow zone's like my safety zone. Like, you're good, you're safe. Here it's like, and below the trend line, it's bearish, So I don't like to go around these ranges here. But within my yellow lines, I'm good to go. So there you go. And then it went uptrend, and then it kept going uptrend. So the key thing here is that they want to buy at a discount. Okay, don't be fooled thinking it's going bearish. Don't think it's oh, you know what? It's going bearish. I gotta get out, or it's going bearish. I gotta get out of the way. I'm just gonna go in, or I'm kind of like panicking. What am I gonna do? A lot of people, and this is where a lot of people fail, and this is why their stop losses get hit. Because they don't know exactly where to put their stop losses. And this tool helps you where to put your stop losses. Huge, significant difference. So I'll give you an example. Let's say if I want to buy here, and I'm going to put my stop loss here because it was, it's the low. I mean, this is the high, right? And I don't want to go below that high. So you go in here, they go uptrend, they want to get it for cheap, they kill your stop loss. But guess what? It's still going uptrend. And these indicators, these tools, they're very, very valuable. So, now it's going uptrend. But if you continue, keep in mind, they were getting squeezed. So they were forced to make a huge move. And within that move, they said, I want to buy for cheap before I make my next huge move. I want to buy it at a cheaper price. So they did that. See it played out. And they kept going higher. See? They reached for a new high. But before they reached for a newer high, they had to get it at a premium price. And this is how you determine, get a sense of what the market is trying to do, what the trend lines are trying to do, where they're trying to head. And then this is going back, you know, somewhat old school tools. I know now they have very, very great indicators, but sometimes it's best to know where the market is trying to go. What are their reactions? What are they looking for? What are the whales? What are institutions looking for? How do they work? How do they move within the waves of the market? So I truly hope this helps you guys to find trends and try to analyze the trends and utilize the tools. You know, sometimes we get lost with the indicators, that the next thing you know, you have 20 indicators on your chart, and before you try to press that pipeline and try to go into a position, you know, one indicator is telling you it's good and the other indicator is like somewhat, and then the other indicator is like not too sure. So by the time you try to analyze like over 20 indicators, you know, you lost your opportunity. Now these tools that I'm using here, they're not too bad. You could clearly get the sense of a fib. You could clearly draw your fib, you know, and they're still working on it. It's still going on trend. And by the time you draw your fib or you draw your trend lines, it's not as much as trying to figure out 20, 15 indicators or codes or whatever that we have, and you know, get lost within the indicator system. I've done that myself, and trust me, sometimes you just have to step back and redo your whole strategy again and see what works and what doesn't. But this is my approach. Hopefully this helps you guys, and practice on it, and then tell me what you guys think. This is to find out where a trend was heading to. Hopefully next time I will show you guys how is it that bears and bulls work together at the same time so they could both make money. I've seen it and I was amazed by it. I was like, wow, that's incredible. But that's what, once you start learning all this stuff, it's just mind blowing, you know. But I truly hope that this helps. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Again, this is just, you know, trading ideas and fundamentals to share with each other. I'm not trying to tell you exactly where to do your trade. I will not do that. I am showing you how I study the trends, how I get to see where the trends are trying to go, and that's pretty much it.